So guys, I'm about to spend about 400 odd K on an untradeable centre back, so if you guys could leave a like rating on the video, that would be greatly appreciated. Yeah, different intro than normal. Anyway, in today's video, we're going to complete the UEFA Champions League Road to the Final Gomez SBC. We're then going to get this card and we're going to try it out in some games to see how it performs in matches. Now, at the current time, the cost of the SBC is around 350k on both consoles, according to Futbin. So this card is currently very freaking expensive, but this is a live item, and the more Liverpool progress in the Champions League, the better this item will get. So that's something to bear in mind. 350k for an 83 rated Gomez right now does seem a bit steep, but like in a few months' time, when this card gets upgraded, if Liverpool do well in the Champions League, it might seem like a decent price. Just think about it like that. You're paying not for the card right now, but you're paying for what the card could potentially be. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, before we get into things, if you guys could leave a like rating on this video, that would be greatly appreciated. In the comment section down below, let me know your thoughts on this Joe Gomez card and the SBC price. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And finally, if you're in the market for a football news app, you want to keep up to date with the latest news in football, check out OneFootball. There's a link to download the app for free in the description. Okay, so here are the SBCs that we have to complete. We've got one which requires an 85 rated squad with a Liverpool player, another one requires an 87 rated squad with at least one Premier League player, and then the final squad is just an 87 rated squad. So yeah, let's get these done, shall we? Okay, so this is how we're completing the red squad. We're obviously using Joe Matip as our Liverpool player, then we're using a Bundesliga team to fill out the rest of the team. The overall cost of this squad was around 68,000 coins. For the Premier League squad, this is what we will be submitting. It's quite an expensive team, this one, and it does feature quite a few high rated players. The overall cost of this squad is around 150,000 coins, so yeah, this one's pretty expensive, but luckily we do get a decent pack back for it. We get a 50k pack, so yeah, expensive squad, but it has to be done, unfortunately. And finally, this is the team we will be submitting for the 87 rated squad. This team costs around 150k, so once again, it's not a cheap one at all. And just like that, the Joe Gomez SBC is now complete. I have an 83 rated Joe Gomez heading into my club, and I'm about 350k down, so hopefully this card does indeed perform well. So welcome to the club. Is he going to walk out? He's not. Like, I know his rating's not high enough for him to be a walkout, but still, with it being an SBC, don't know why, just expected him to. Anyway, before we move on into the review part of the video, we've got some packs to open, so let's hopefully recoup some of the coins we have just spent. In pack number 1, we do not even get boards, which is not an ideal start, obviously. So hopefully the next 2 packs can be much more fruitful. And the first pack, we get literally nothing. I believe everyone in this pack is pretty much discard, so not the best start, but their best could be still yet to come. Rare mega pack, 55k pack. What do we get? It's going to be boards, which is awesome. Not going to be a walkout, which sucks. It's going to be someone... Who's this? I don't actually know who this is. Oh, it's the RB Leipzig keeper. Gulaxi, I think it is. Don't believe he sells for too much though. Let's have a look. He goes for 5k, so thus far we've probably recouped around like 5 or 10k, so not great on the pack so far. Can we end on a high with the 50k pack though? Come on here. At least be a board, please. Oh wow. Oh wow. Not good. Let's transition into the player review part of the video, shall we? So this is the team we're going to be using the Joe Gomez card in. In matches we will be playing in the 4-2-2-2 formation, just because that's my go-to. So let's have a look at this item, shall we? Joe Gomez stands at 6'2" and he has medium wear rates. His in-game stats look good, but they don't look amazing for a centre-back, which costs well over 300k in my opinion. His pace column obviously is absolutely fantastic for a centre-back, but other than that, the stats don't look anything too special. Now, don't get me wrong, he's got some decent defensive stats and some decent physical stats, but they're not amazing considering the cost of this card. But obviously, we have got to remember this card is a live item and it can be upgraded in the future. We're going to use an Anchor Chem style on this guy. Obviously, you could use shadow if you wanted to, but I feel like this guy's pace is boosted enough, and with Anchor Chem, we get to boost both his defending and physical stats. I'm hoping in-game this card feels pretty freaking good, because non-informed Joe Gomez, although he looks fairly average when you look at his in-game stats, in-game he's an absolute beast. So I'm hoping a similar thing happens with this Road to the Final card. I'm hoping in-game it's awesome, and hopefully in a few months' time when it gets upgraded, it's going to become one of the best centre-backs in the game. Anyway, we've rambled on for long enough now, so let's get into some games and let's test this 83 rated centre-back out. So for the debut of our very expensive centre-back, this is what we are facing. It's an interesting hybrid squad which features the likes of Ultimate Scream Chong, Ultimate Scream PK, and an Icon Stoichkov. Well, Joe Gomez is going to get an early touch of the ball in this game. Let's see what the through ball's like to the wing. It's become a very big lob through ball, but it's coming to the path of Walcott and ended up being a really nice pass forward upfield. Chance for my opponent to come forward with Stoichkov, but Joe Gomez is going to take the ball off him with relative ease, but pass after wasn't the best. Somehow that ball's got through, and Griezmann's got the shot away despite the pressure from Gomez there. Here's Stoichkov, but Gomez is not going to let him pass. He's going to get his shoulder in front of him, knock him off the ball, and now we can counter. Joe Gomez slides the ball through to Son, and Son gets the shot away after my opponent made an error with an early slide tackle. So, there's the half-time whistle. At the break, it's 1 goal apiece. It's all square. To be honest, Joe Gomez hasn't had too much to do in the first half. He's put in a couple of tackles here or there, but he hasn't been really busy. He hasn't been tested properly yet, so hopefully we get that in the second half. Oh, Jamie Vardy tried to step inside, but Joe Gomez was having none of it, and he kicks the ball onto Davinson Sanchez. And now, from that tackle, we might be able to break. Can Son get around to Nandez? No. And there is the full-time whistle. We get ourselves a 3-1 victory, keeping a clean sheet in the second half. So how was Joe Gomez in this game? Well, he's been given a 9.1 rating, which is quite surprising to me. He's been given a much higher match rating than Davinson Sanchez. But personally, I thought Davinson Sanchez played better than Joe Gomez in that game. But apparently the stats disagree with me. Now, don't get me wrong, Joe Gomez wasn't bad in this game. I just felt like the other centre-back outperformed him. But nonetheless, a relatively solid performance from both defenders in this match. It's just a shame that we conceded in the first half, but that was an error from me personally rather than the players on the field. Anyway, let's get into another match and see how Joe Gomez does. Up against Joe Gomez next is a UCL Ronaldo and an 87 rated Mertens. So, yeah, this is definitely going to be a tough test for the centre-back. Insigne puts the ball through to Ronaldo. Ronaldo up against Joe Gomez. They end up in a bit of a push and pull match, but both of them end up on the ground and we end up with the ball. It's a chance for my opponent to come forward, but Joe Gomez this time is wise to it, making sure Ronaldo don't get on the end of that one. As you can see, at the break we have ourselves a 1-0 lead. Both sides have had a bunch of chances to be fair, but neither side has really taken full advantage yet. So the score remains at just 1-0. I thought Joe Gomez and Davinson Sanchez have both been pretty good in this first half. Hopefully they can go on to keep a clean sheet in this second half. Oh, big tackle there from Joe Gomez, but it didn't bounce favourably. We got a bit lucky. Oof, big tackle there from Joe Gomez. What an effort that was to get back at Ronaldo there. And there's the full-time whistle. Unfortunately, we lose this game 3-1 after a horrendous second half performance. So how was Joe Gomez in this game? It was okay. Once again, not amazing. I still feel like Davinson Sanchez is the better centre-back of the two. Gomez, one thing I noticed about him was when he comes out of position, it takes him quite a bit of time to actually get back in position, which can be annoying because obviously that can leave gaps at the back. He did make a couple of key tackles though, which was obviously pleasing, but he also made a key error which led to one of my opponent's goals. But nonetheless, let's get into another game and see how he does. In game number 3, this is what we are facing. We've got Icon Nesta, Ultimate Scream Trippier, and a Neymar to watch out for. Neymar brings the ball forward. Here's Ousmane Dembele, but Gomez comes out of line and makes a very big challenge on the Brazilian attacker. Joe Gomez, luckily alert there, took the ball. Okay, so at the break we are 1-0 down, and to be fair, that's a very fair scoreline. My opponent's had most of the possession, and he's created the most chances. So yeah, frustrating game so far, but hopefully in the second half we can pull it back. There's a chance for my opponent with Neymar down this left edge, but Joe Gomez has got the pace to get in front of him, but the pass Oh, that was me. The pass error there was from me. I shouldn't have done that. But Gomez showed some really good pace there to get ahead of Neymar. I need to stop trying to pass in general off of his left foot. Every time I do, it does not go well. Oh, big tackle there from Gomez. Under a lot of pressure right now. Lautaro Martinez up against Gomez, but Gomez is going to win that 1v1. And there's the full-time whistle. We managed to turn it round in the second half, and we got ourselves a 2-1 win. Both Davinson Sanchez and Joe Gomez were absolutely brilliant in that second half because we were under constant pressure. Once again, for the third game in a row though, I do feel like Davinson Sanchez is the better centre-back out of the two in FIFA. Anyway, we're going to talk about Joe Gomez's overall performances in the summary page in a moment. So, after playing around with this Joe Gomez item, what are my overall thoughts on this card? I think this item is good, but I don't think it's great. I like the guy's pace in game because obviously he's absolutely rapid for a centre-back, and you saw in the footage that this guy was catching up to players like Ronaldo and Neymar with relative ease, so his pace is obviously a huge positive. I thought his initial defensive positioning was good, but when he does come out of the defensive line for whatever reason, he isn't the quickest to get back in position. When defending in one-on-one situations, this Gomez is very good because he's got good pace, good strength, and he's relatively aggressive, so he can push players off the ball. And if he's struggling to push them off the ball from the side, he's got the pace to get in front of a player to try and stop them. His tackling ability is good, but it's nothing special. He doesn't always clear the ball well, and that can lead to the opponent getting the ball back rather too easily for my liking. I had no issues with his passing. I thought that was pretty good for a centre-back, and I also felt like his dribbling and general ball control was also good for a player in his position. Aerially, I didn't think too much of this item though. I thought he was pretty average. He won headers against, just generally average players, but against the higher level players, he did struggle a bit. Overall, like I've said, I think this card's good, but it's nothing special at the moment. Obviously, when it's upgraded, it could become something brilliant, and we'll discuss that in a moment. At this item's current rating, I don't think it's much better. In fact, I don't think it is at all better than Davinson Sanchez. I also don't think this card is a massive improvement on the non-informed version, which is pretty crazy, but it is worth mentioning that non-informed Gomez is pretty OP. So with that in mind, do I think this card is worth picking up? Is the SBC worth doing? Well, if this item just stayed as an 83, then hell no, this card wouldn't be worth getting, but it's not going to stay as an 83 rated centre-back. Liverpool are currently top of the Champions League, they're top of their Champions League group, and they're one of the favourites to win the whole competition. So it's very likely that this Gomez item is going to receive at least a few upgrades in the future, so potentially this card could become something special. If you're thinking about getting this Joe Gomez, you have to think about it like it's an investment for your Ultimate Team future, as sad as that sounds. Saying that, on the flip side, by the time we're into the knockout stages of the Champions League, a bunch of better centre-back options could be available in the game. So, yeah, my summary is, do I think this Joe Gomez SBC is worth doing? I would probably say only if you're a Liverpool fan, to be honest, because I just think that by the time this card gets decent boosts, which, by the way, will be next year, it'll be in 2020, and by that point, I feel better centre-back options will be available for less than the cost of this SBC. So, yeah, as I said, I just can't advise you guys to do the Joe Gomez SBC unless you're a big Liverpool fan. So guys, those are my thoughts on the 83 rated Joe Gomez and the SBC that is required to get this card. I hope you've enjoyed this video and I hope you found it useful. If you've got any questions about this item, put them in the comment section down below. If you could leave a like on the video, that'd be awesome. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.